All right. Now, Dad, you said you liked the beet kale mixture juice, celery, and whatever else was in it. You might like this even better. I know you said you had to water it down, or I told you add a banana or make the vanilla mix with it. And anybody else watching this. So, a couple interesting things that I'm going to talk about in this video real quick. I'll try to make it as short as possible, but it's interesting and very informative. So, this is Lakewood organic beet juice, and we'll do this right off the bat. So you're going to see words like organic, vegan, non-GMO, fresh press, cold press, all that kind of stuff. So this one says organic. Now I've been buying this for the last year and a half, and I like Smart Juice Company. Matter of fact, before I start this, let me check my other juices, because that way I don't have to bounce back and forth. Okay, so I checked in the closet. I'm going to take you over there and show you. So let's go over to smoothie real quick. So it's about 8 to 10 ounces of the beet juice. And since I like the beet flavor, but it's really, really beety. So maybe 2-3 ounces of blueberry and a splash of pomegranate. And then we got the ground sunflower, the ground chia, the raw hemp, and the plant vitamins. The plant vitamins are mostly calcium, but there's what you need, like magnesium, manganese, vitamin D, K, stuff like that to go along with the calcium. And the calcium is red algae, which has a different crystal structure than if you were to get it from minerals like rocks, because most calcium, if it doesn't come from a cow, it comes from rocks. Believe it or not, most people don't know that, but it comes from rocks. And it's very difficult to absorb, and they link it a lot for years to kidney stones. Dad knows that. I know that. So from between dairy not being good for you and not being good for the animals and rocks, the crystal structure of this is a lot more, it looks cool. It looks like a sacred geometry than it does in the form of rocks. So all this is in there. This will go in afterwards. All right. You throw it in the blender. You blend it up. I have frozen bananas. I add the banana in there and some ice, and then I do it up so it's like a smoothie icy. It tastes fantastic like this. I'm going to have a glass like this. Now after I have a glass like that, then I'll put in this. This makes it even better. It's great on its own. It's awesome. And it's not that sweet either. So then I'm going to add in this vanilla plant protein meal. This is more of a meal than this is. This says super smoothie. Has like 20% vitamins and whole foods in it. But this one is the granddaddy of them all. This is raw and everything. Okay, so you'll notice, we'll do this real quick so you guys can understand. And I'm learning something today too. I got to look it up, but my computer's taking long. So we have USD organic, we have non-GMO, and we have vegan. Okay? Now over here, we have the same exact things, except you see the word raw. So this one goes through a process, a light process of probably drying and heating, where this doesn't go through that process, and they do it so it remains raw. Okay. Over here you see organic. Now these plant vitamins and everything are vegan and organic, and so is the sunflower seeds and the chia seeds. Now this is where it gets interesting. You can see this on most of your foods and on snacks and stuff. But on juices it's very tricky, because the person automatically assumes it's juice, it has to be vegan, because it's a berry or it's a vegetable or it's an herb. But that's not the case. And it's sad in this world, by the companies who purposely label to look to fake you out or deceive you, and the companies that aren't united as agencies. And you're gonna see it right here. So you saw the non-GMO here, and there's the non-GMO over there. Different kind of non-GMO. Now the standard label is supposed to be that, and most people use it, as you saw there and there. And you can see the organic one across the board is organic. But the non-GMO, you'll notice, organic and non-GMO, you'll see different ones. And you wonder yourself, where's the one labeling board, Okay, so non-GMO means that its genetics haven't been modified. They haven't been engineered. It's a real beet. Whatever beet was first available in nature, that's what it is. It hasn't been genetically modified. So when it says non-GMO on it or non-genetically engineered, it's a natural berry. Science hasn't screwed with it. Like they can make dwarf blueberry plants and split genes and make different sized corns and all that kind of stuff. So that means it hasn't been messed with. Organic is supposed to mean that it's not grown with chemicals or pesticides and stuff like that. Okay? But I don't have one here. I have seen some of my food that doesn't have a non-GMO label at all. But it will have a organic label, and it will say organic is non-GMO with an exclamation point, which is saying, okay, it's not used with pesticides, but it's not genetically altered either. So I only see that rarely. Why? Is it going to be a new trend? I don't know, because as you see it two different ones. Okay? They even wrote on here. Now, you got to keep that in mind when you buy all your foods. Now here's another trick. Organic beet juice, organic lemon juice. Okay? Let's see if any of this says it. Now this ain't organic, so it might have been used with pesticides and chemicals to keep bugs off, but it hasn't been genetically engineered. Now I use real blueberries when I can get them. I ran out yesterday. I like to keep this on hand. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find any juice that is like from this company without being super duper expensive. This is like $7, $8 on its own already. When you want to get one of those like that and they come in a larger thing, you could spend like $20, $15 on one of these, and I'm just not going to do that. So as you see, organic beet and organic lemon. Now let's see this one. This one is a tricky one, and this is the one I want to look up online. So this one just says organic, not non-GMO. And as you can see on the label, it says organic pomegranate, but it says organic natural flavors. We're going to skip that, so hold on to that organic natural flavors. Sometimes you're going to see products that will say organic, and only when they're mixed, when it has more than one ingredient in it. Then you might see the whole thing labeled as organic and organic. But let's say this thing had 5 ingredients and it has these 2 as organic. It might say something like something oil or something herb, and it won't have organic in front of it. So that means that it could have been treated with pesticides and stuff, but the organic ones weren't. But by some kind of law or whatever the rules are for organic, they're allowed to label it organic. I've seen them. I probably have a product or two here still that has that. So that's another thing that sort of deceives the buyer. You see this and you see this, and then they're like, oh, that's fine. And they just see the ingredients real quick, and they're like, I love those ingredients. But then you'll notice that half the ingredients won't have the word organic in front of it. And they do the same thing with non-GMO at times. I don't think they have to even label it, but some companies actually go ahead and label it to let you see that. So that's another thing where nothing's unified across the board, and the people themselves, instead of being straight up and honest, use that sort of loophole to do their product. And that's the problem with the world and everything, from religions to governments to political parties to everything, to the individual. And that's what's got to stop. Now, let's go to this real quick. So this is, by the way, these are my 2 favorite, Smart Juice and Lakewood. They taste the greatest. They are so fresh, so awesome, like you're eating fresh fruit, and they're cold pressed and not from concentrate and stuff like that. Now, that thing here that I was telling you about, the natural flavors. There we go. Sometimes it will say natural flavors, sometimes it will say organic. Now here's another problem. I'm trying to look this up online, but my computer's slow. And I've reached out to a chip company, and they assured me that it was okay. Now, you notice that none of them said vegan, but this one says vegan. Okay? Now, how do I know this one's vegan even though it's not labeled vegan, when it should be labeled vegan, to make sure everybody knows? Well, because it's just water and juice. Therefore, it's vegan. Now, if it had natural flavors on it, then the question becomes, what are those natural flavors? Natural, people automatically assume that means it comes from a plant or this or that. Well, an animal's natural, and certain chemicals are natural. So you have to be careful. So on this, it's an organic natural flavor, not just a natural flavor, but an organic natural flavor. So does that mean it comes from a plant or not? I don't know. Now, I used to buy this chip, but I don't buy it because the bag's not recyclable. And it was called Bonitos. And they had the non-GMO, the vegan, the organic, and yada, yada, yada. But they had natural flavors. I had to call the company. I wrote them. They wrote me back. They assured me that everything in it, including the natural flavor, is vegan. But they don't list it at that because it's some kind of so-called secret spice blend. But it was all plant material. Okay? But there's companies that I wrote that have that, and they're not the product's not labeled vegan, and I'm thinking, well, it must be because of the natural flavors. And when I ask, it's because of the natural flavors. Natural flavors can be anything from like gelatin from an animal, even something weird like from animal product and stuff like that. So you have to be careful. I'm waiting on this so I can research this because I wasn't really even aware of that down there. So it may be an organic natural plant material. If it is, then the question is, why don't they make sure everybody's okay with that and put vegan on it like these guys did? Now these guys, you know, they didn't need to put vegan on it because the average person would know, well, beet and lemon are pure natural, and we already know that it's non-GMO and organic. But they went ahead and they labeled everything like a good company should. They labeled everything, where these two guys sort of are a little bit on the suspicious side. So in the comments or the description in my video, I'm going to research and I'm going to put the answer to this natural flavor because this one slipped by me, and if it's no good, then I'm not buying this juice anymore. Now, let me show you something else. Okay, so here's other flavors. The Concord Grape by Lakewood is exactly the same as the Beet, labeled perfectly. The black mulberry juice here, as you see, organic black mulberry by Smart Juice, 100% juice and organic. Doesn't say anything about non-GMO still. But on the bottom, if you can see it, I don't know, it's just organic mulberry juice. Nothing about natural flavors. So you have to wonder, why does pomegranate have some kind of natural flavor in it? Here's the antioxidant. This is the one Dad and Mom I told you guys would love. It tastes like a wine. It's pomegranate, cherry, grape, carrot, cranberry, blueberry. Again, organic, and on the bottom, as you can see, or maybe not, everything's labeled as organic, and there's nothing about natural flavors in that one either. Now here is Lakewood again, the carrot orange, the same thing. Beautiful labeling, perfect and true. Now there's another variety of Lakewood, and that's non-GMO, and that has all natural ingredients. There's nothing in it. It's just cranberry, and that one is just cherry, okay? But they're non-GMO. It doesn't say anything about organic on the label as you see there. But it also doesn't have any natural flavors or anything. So you see the difference in all these? It makes you wonder, why can it do organic and non-GMO there, but not there? And all the labels. And why are these juices, why is pomegranate the only one that says natural flavors and it says organic? So for me, I'll have to get back on the video and tell you, because I might not be buying that if I turn out to be a chemical or an animal product. Okay, I looked through these real quick. So every once in a while, I buy this mayonnaise because it tastes the best out of all the other ones I've tried. Although there's something on it. Now you see it says vegan, and it says, you know, well, over here it will say something. See, so this does it different. It doesn't have the labels, but it will say non-GMO and all that stuff. Now, if you go on the back here where the ingredients are, and I don't know if you can see, this one has natural flavor. So it's natural flavor, but it's vegan because the whole thing is labeled vegan. Now, if it had all vegan ingredients and not labeled vegan, then it wouldn't be vegan. So you see how they do it? So this natural flavor has to be vegan because the whole bottle is labeled vegan. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up or not in this lighting. So you see how that's what I mean about that stuff? And again, it's the company and the agencies that do all this so-called non-GMO vegan labeling and testing, they all have to be unified and like everything else in the world, from the individual, for your own self to your own self and to others, you have to be honest. If you're not honest, the world doesn't change. And with deception in every level, whether it's spoken word, thought, feeling, labeling, or whatever, it's just not going to make a better world. And that's why I strive to do the best that I can in everything I do. And sometimes, like, I buy these things for you guys, and I keep saying, you know what, I'm not going to buy these anymore. I'll try to make my own mints or not even worry about it. Same thing with the chapstick. because now last year I found out that I can't do my boxes. They used to take the box of this and recycle it. Now they don't take it. And technically they don't take these cans, but I throw them in with the cans anyway. But it's something else that I have to stop buying because, and I bought these a while ago. I bought these before last Christmas, probably in the summer last year, and I had a stack of them to give away during birthdays and Christmases and stuff. So there's things that I still have to stop buying because my recycling center stopped buying papers and boxes and everything to throw away. But the labeling is incredibly important. All right, so hopefully that educates you, makes you more aware, makes you more conscious. I know I talk about animals and chemicals and stuff and why the spiritual reasons and the biological reasons and the ethical reasons. Well, this is another layer of that. This is just another layer of that, labeling and awareness of the labels and what they mean, and what is it really saying and what it really isn't it saying, and buyer beware. So you got to make a change and all that, and hopefully whoever watches this video will make those changes and will care about themselves, the environment, the animals, and their bodies and everything else. So again, the original smoothie, awesome. Then you just add this in, and it gives it a nice vanilla flavor, makes it creamy too. So when I make something like this, sometimes I don't want the coconut milk in it. I like that nice icy, juicy flavor. Sometimes I do like the creaminess in it. This will bring creaminess in it on its own, so I won't even need to add coconut milk to it at all. And that will be my second smoothie. All right? So I hope you learned something today. Spread it, share it, and teach others about it. Or, like that song I've given you guys, that song from the 70s by, I think his name is Teddy Prendergast, and I don't know the name of the band, but it was Wake Up Everybody. We got to teach a new way. And maybe they'll listen to what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! That song, Dad knows it. I gave it to all of you because it's a great song. It's so powerful. It's so soulful. It's got such a good vibration and frequency, the way they sing and the music. And it talks about everybody stop lying, stop cheating, stop doing dope, stop selling drugs, stop, you got to teach the children, you got to teach the babies. Well, it starts with all this and more, right? So, wake up, everybody. I love you all. Bye-bye.